And we're looking at a hot afternoon, high temperatures in the low 90s. I'll show you how many days we'll have temperatures near record highs.
Cooling down safely as temperatures climb, your AC will be working overtime. How you should prepare your home to keep that AC working and save on your energy bill. School budget discussion, where kind of parents will get their chance to share their thoughts about how the school district should be spending the money. How you can give your feedback as school leaders propose millions in cuts. WRAL News at 8 on Fox 50 starts in about 30 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Your number one source for local news. This is WRAL, coverage you can count on.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us at 8 o'clock. I'm Kirsten Clark.
And I'm Ken Smith, and we're starting out with another warm day.
Oh, that we are.
Feels comfortable now, but boy, get ready. Let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner at the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking it all for us.
It's a pretty start. We take a look from our Jimmy V camera down Fayetteville Street. Lots and lots of sunshine, a little bit of a breeze. Our wind is coming out of the southwest. That's going to keep things warm for us today. It's 65 right now with that southwest wind at 9 miles per hour, so feeling comfortable. And even though it'll be a hot day, it'll feel more comfortable than it would if it was July because we won't have much humidity to deal with. We'll be in the low 80s by lunchtime, but we do climb into the low 90s. We have highs in the 90s all the way through Saturday, but I'm tracking a front that will cool us down by the early part of next week. It may not bring us a whole lot of rain. I'll explain why, Ken.
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, that heavy congestion we've been monitoring on that southern loop of the Beltline. You can see it right here at I-40 near the Lake Wheeler Road exit ramp. These are the westbound lanes coming toward us this morning, flowing, albeit at a slow clip. Right now, you're looking at an 11-minute delay, and that's between that 440 interchange in Southeast Raleigh over to US 1 in Cary. So keep that in mind. Things are definitely getting better if you're coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area. We're just picking up a 1-minute delay between Highway 36 and the Beltline. Things are also getting better to the east of Raleigh on I-87 at Smithfield Road. You can see the southbound lanes coming toward us and flowing at a nice steady clip. About an hour ago, it was really bumper-to-bumper traffic, and a lot of that has to do with the ongoing complete NC 540 project between Hodge Road and Smithfield Road. As you widen out the view, you're looking at an 10-minute delay coming in from Knightdale. Our friends in Wake Forest coming in on US 1 South, you're looking at a 12-minute delay. We're also picking up some delays around Highway 55 coming in out of Apex on US 1. You're looking at an 8-minute delay this hour. And that southern loop of the Beltline, you can see it right there. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken Smith keeping us in the loop. Thank you. Breaking news this morning, Highway Patrol was called out to a crash involving a school bus in Wake County. The crash happened near Old Stage Road and Willow Landing Way. Troopers told the WRAL breaking news tracker that a minivan went over the yellow line and hit the bus. There were 2 students on board, but fortunately, nobody was hurt. We're still trying to find out what charges that driver of the van is facing. And police are investigating a crash that blocked part of a road in Raleigh overnight. It happened at the intersection of Western Boulevard and Dan Allen Drive near NC State's campus. You can see the large police response closing off that intersection. That's from our WRAL tower cam. The WRAL breaking news tracker saw at least 2 cars at that scene, and at least one of them was heavily damaged. You can see the damage there. And we're still working to learn if anyone was injured in this crash. Your HVAC system will likely be working overtime this week to cool your house as we deal with near record heat. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar joins us live in Raleigh this morning. And Ali, what do people need to know now before the heat really starts to ramp up?
Yeah, well, local experts say that it's the best time right now is to get your AC unit checked by experts and by your local company. Now, they recommend that you Get a maintenance check on your HVAC system in the spring, especially if your AC was struggling last summer. To prevent your air conditioning from working too hard, use a programmable thermostat. Also, keep your home as cool as possible by closing blinds and curtains. Michael & Son says the best way to prevent AC problems is getting a reputable HVAC company to come by and clean up your system.
Just kind of what we call a clean and check. So we clean it up, make sure it is going to run optimally, the airflow is smooth, and then we obviously tighten all the screws, check all the numbers.
Yeah, I checked out local companies, multiple companies in the Triangle, and you can get a maintenance check from between around $70 and $200, depending on the type of unit you have and the plan you select. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
While leaders are considering water restrictions as the drought intensifies, this is video of Falls Lake, a major water source in Wake County. The city says restrictions could go into effect in the coming weeks because of the current water level and the lack of rain in the forecast. That could mean limiting the time of day you can use water for certain instances and how much. It's been nearly 20 years since Raleigh put water restrictions in place.
This morning, a new autopsy report revealing new details about the death of Officer Roger Smith. He was shot and killed in the Wake Med Garner emergency room last year. The report says the suspect in the shooting, that's Benji Martin Jr., got the gun from Smith after a fight in the emergency room. Martin then shot Smith. The medical examiner says 2 bullets hit Smith's body, killing him. Martin was also shot during the altercation, and he's facing murder charges.
Well, tonight, parents in Wake County will have a chance to give their input on the school district's budget after millions of dollars were proposed in cuts. Let's bring in WRAL's Kelsey Coffey this morning. She's live at Wakefield Middle School. And Kelsey, there's been some pushback to the superintendent's proposal.
Yes, Ken, and that pushback is proof that parents' voices matter, because there have been some changes since that initial budget. But tonight, Wake County parents are invited here to Wakefield Middle School so they can share their thoughts about the district's budget that could impact their child's school. So this comes after Superintendent Robert Taylor proposed $5.2 million in budget cuts. These cuts would be in areas like transportation and elementary literacy coaches. Taylor plans to propose more cuts later this month. Next year's budget would still be an increase overall, but that's only to make up for increased costs such as pay raises. If state-funded employees get a salary increase, Wake County and other school districts would have to match it. That could increase costs by tens of millions of dollars each year. So you can share your feedback on how you think the district's money should be spent tonight at 6 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Turning now to the latest developments of the war on Iran. Iran is threatening to block shipping in the Red Sea if the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports continues. This comes as President Trump says the war is, quote, very close to over. Also, talks between Lebanon and Israel were held for the first time in decades. Now, despite this, Israel's military hit more than 200 Hezbollah targets this morning.
Turning back locally now, Apex is pushing pause on data center development. The town council voted unanimously to stop any data center projects for the next year. The moratorium gives town leaders time to look into how to regulate and potentially limit data centers. The move comes after months of opposition to a proposed data center off Old US 1. That project was eventually pulled by its developer just weeks ago. Town leaders say they're moving forward with this pause since state law forbids them from outright banning data centers.
The Charlotte Hornets are one step closer to making the playoffs. The Hornets beat the Miami Heat in overtime last night in the opening round of the play-in tournament. LaMelo Ball made a layup shot just with seconds left, and Miles Bridges blocked a last-second shot from the Heat as the buzzer went off. The team will now play the loser of Wednesday's matchup between the Philadelphia and Orlando. They're playing for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. This would be Charlotte's first playoff appearance in more than a decade. Sticking with the sports theme, the Carolina Hurricanes closing out the regular season with a 2-1 win over the New York Islanders. The team won the division and is the top seed in the Eastern Conference. The Canes will now face off against the Ottawa Senators in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs starting this Saturday.
Well, new this morning, we're getting our first look at renderings for the Disney development planned for Chatham County. These are new images of the plans for the second Star Club at the Asteria community in Pittsburgh. The name is inspired by the classic animated movie Peter Pan. There will also be references to films like Beauty and the Beast, Alice in Wonderland, and Bambi. When it's complete, developers say Asteria will cover 1,500 acres and include 4,000 homes. We spoke with the developer, Story Living by Disney, who says Pittsburgh was a perfect match when it came to finding a place for the new community.
I will say I had the opportunity to look at a lot of different sites and absolutely fell in love with Pittsburgh and North Carolina. And I love the spirit, I love the people, I love the landscaping. And it just was like this, I could definitely see us marrying with Disney.
So when it's all complete, developers say Asteria will cover 1,500 acres and include 4,000 homes. Story Living by Disney is expected to begin home sales in the fall of 2027, and people should be able to welcome residents in the fall of 2028. Coming up, do not burn. Crews have responded to hundreds of fires since the statewide burn ban began. What an extension of the ban means for you going forward.
And planning your day, we're looking at a nice day for this afternoon. We're going to see temperatures, though, climbing into the low 90s. It's going to be a hot one for us. I'll show you why temperatures will stay well above normal for the remainder of the week coming up. .14, and it's really pleasant out here on the patio this morning, feeling really comfortable. Our temperatures are in the low to mid 60s. We take a live look at the DBAP, and you can see blue sky there. We're looking at blue sky here in the WRAL Gardens, and look at these temperatures. 64 in Fayetteville, it's 63 in Roanoke Rapids, 64 in Rocky Mount, 63 in Goldsboro. So it just feels great out here this morning. Perfect for sitting outside at lunch. I'm in the shade right here, and even though I'm in the shade, it still feels nice. It will be warm at lunchtime, 83 degrees, but this is a situation where our humidity remains low, even though our temperatures will be 20 degrees above normal. So as long as you're in a shady spot, it'll feel a little bit more comfortable. So it should be good for eating your lunch outside. Walking the dog this morning feels nice too. We'll see temperatures, though, climbing into the low 90s, and I'll show you why this will continue into the weekend. Coming up, Ken.
Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We start to the east of Raleigh, give you a live look at I-87 and Smithfield Road. Some heavy congestion we've been monitoring now for the last 2 or 3 hours. There's been an ebb and flow of the congestion this morning. So as we widen out the view, you're looking at a 9-minute delay. A half hour ago, that was into double digits, so things are getting better. Our friends in Wake Forest, you're looking at an 11-minute delay coming in on US 1. We'll check some other delay times coming in on some other major routes into the Raleigh-Wake County area.
I'm Laura Levine here in the WRAL Live Center this morning. Pretty wild moments for a surfer off the North Carolina coast. This update coming here early this morning. I want to share this video with you once again on your screen. A fisherman off the coast of Cape Point on Hatteras Island was surrounded by sharks on Monday. This new video was shared with CNN. It shows the sharks about 300 yards off the coast surrounding the professional surfer and fisherman Brett Barley. Now, Barley was riding his watercraft and trying to catch blackfin tuna and red drum, but he accidentally caught a shark. The shark was able to chew through the line and break free. Barley later returned to that same area where he caught the shark and found himself surrounded. The sharks were feeding on bait fish, and he believed that they were spinner sharks, which are known to form schools and migrate along the Atlantic coast from Florida to North Carolina. He said that he stayed calm throughout this process, and he drove through that area to get out of that area.
Wow, that's a bit scary there. Thank you, Laura. This morning, we're hearing from the school district about shots fired near Carborough High School. Yesterday, the school went on lockdown after students heard gunshots in the woods near campus around lunchtime. 2 teenagers were charged with possessing handguns. One of them is a student at the school. We asked the district if that student brought the gun to the school.
I'm afraid I don't have any information on students, and even if I did, we'd be prohibited from sharing that information in a public manner.
Crisis teams will be available for students and staff members who want to talk about the incident.
New search warrants show a man charged with murdering a Raleigh teacher admitted to killing her. According to the warrant, when questioned by police, Ryan Camacho said, quote, "Is this about the lady's head I bashed in with a rock, the lady I killed?" Well, that lady was Ravenscroft teacher Zoe Welch. Camacho is accused of breaking into Welch's home in January and killing her. Well, happening today, North Carolina lawmakers and women's health advocates will mark Black Maternal Health Week. Data from the state CDC shows Black women are more than 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes than white women. This week is to raise awareness about those racial disparities. Governor Stein, the North Carolina Legislative Black Caucus, and other representatives will recognize the week. Today's events begin around 11 o'clock this morning at the North Carolina Executive Mansion.
To Orange County now, where this morning healthcare providers are holding a breakfast to talk about measles preparedness. The state has had 24 cases of the disease since December of last year. The county's health department will host the provider breakfast in Chapel Hill. Doctors will discuss preparedness, response, and focus on measles as an important public health priority. Today's breakfast has just begun.
Since the beginning of the state-issued burn ban, crews have already responded to more than 500 fires all across the state. Weather conditions are making wildfires spread fast and difficult to control. According to the Department of Agriculture, most of these fires are actually human-caused, not from lightning. That means a lot of them could have been prevented. Enforcement is continuing statewide, and citations are being issued. Officials are urging everyone to avoid anything that could spark a fire right now.
So right now, most of North Carolina is either in a severe or extreme drought. Meteorologist Chris Michaels shows us the 2 impacts we typically see during a drought this bad in today's Ask the Meteorologist. Chris?
And Kirsten, we already saw one of those impacts being the wildfire potential that we've seen over recent weeks. But you also have damage to crops, crop loss, and water shortages and restrictions. Those things start to pop up when you're under a severe or an extreme drought. Unfortunate thing is that when you take both the extreme and the severe drought and you combine them, that takes up 94% of North Carolina and really no end in sight. This has been something that's been months in the making. When you look back to September, every single month since then has been at a rain deficit. And since September, we're about a foot below average on rainfall. There's other things that you have to take into account, things like lake levels, vegetation health, stream flow, soil moisture, and groundwater. So when the official drought monitor is released every Thursday at 9 a.m., it's taking all those things into account. We've got a number of stories coming up to help you stay on top of the drought. Go to WRAL.com, search drought, and then sort by newest first, and you'll get our complete coverage over the next few weeks because, Elizabeth, this is a drought that's going to last quite some time, unfortunately.
And, you know, I think people are probably starting to get worried about what's going to happen with their gardens and their lawns. We have the beautiful gardens back here. One thing about WRAL, if you happen to be driving by and you see the sprinklers going off and watering, we have about 4 of our own local wells right here. So it's not city water. Who knows how long that will hold out with these very dry conditions. But it's beautiful in the gardens right now. The azaleas are blooming. They may be slightly past peak, but there's still plenty of them that are blooming out there, looking absolutely gorgeous. And of course, we love to have visitors anytime during daylight hours. And today will be a little hot in the middle of the afternoon, but right now it feels great out here. 65 is our current temperature. We have a southwest wind at 6 miles per hour. That's keeping the warmth in place. 72 is our normal high, and we're going to climb all the way to 94 on Saturday before a cold front comes in and starts to cool us down. So that cold front comes in on Sunday afternoon. It will bring us a small chance for thunderstorms and a minimal potential for rainfall. It will definitely bring us a relief from some of the heat. That'll be the main thing you'll notice. Here's what's going on. We have a big area of high pressure that's sitting across the southeast. We have showers and thunderstorms up near the Great Lakes and then back down the Mississippi Valley. And all that is moving up and over and around our high pressure system. That high is blocking any of this from reaching us until Sunday. We have a front that'll roll through Friday, but the high will help to push most of the moisture north, and then a second front rolls through with a good chance for rain across the Mississippi Valley. Look at all that rain showing up on the model there Saturday evening. But once it starts to move into our area on Sunday, so much of it just fizzles once it comes across the mountains. So our potential for very much rain is not great. And boy, we need a lot, maybe a little better chance closer to the coast. But currently, our potential for rainfall is going to be probably 1/10 of an inch or less. It is a 40% chance that we would see some rain on Sunday again, but we'd probably see about 1/10 of an inch. We will see a big drop in our temperature from a high of 94 Saturday to 67 Monday, and then we bounce back into the mid-70s on Tuesday. Ken?
It's been happening now in the WRAL traffic center. Here's what we're looking at. That southern loop of the Beltline I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. You can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic on these westbound lanes, and this is typical congestion we see this time of the morning. Right now, you're looking at a 12-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline, so plan accordingly. Probably give yourself some extra time. This is part of your morning commute. If you're navigating I-40 westbound through Wade Avenue, you're looking at a 3-minute delay. Nothing that's going to make you late. We're looking at the ebb and flow of congestion on that I-87 southbound lanes around Smithfield Road. We want to remind you about the NC 540 congestion construction, I should say, that's happening between now and April 30th. So you'll be running into some congestion on I-87 for the next few weeks or so. You might want to take Nightdale Boulevard or Business 64 as an alternate route, depending on where you're coming from this morning. So right now you're looking at an 11-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest, just a 7-minute delay if you're coming in from on Nightdale this morning. And we're picking up a little bit of congestion coming in out of Apex. You're looking at a 4-minute delay in US 1 North at this hour.
Ken, thank you. It is 8:23 on April 15th, which means tax day is here. If you've already filed but you're still waiting for a refund, 5 on Your Side breaks down how to track your refund right now.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. It's 8:26. I'm Kirsten Clark. It is a beautiful start to your Wednesday this morning, and that's why meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner joins us from outside in the garden. Let's turn to her now for more on the warm-up that we'll get later this afternoon.
Feels really nice out here right now. We take a live look at the gardens behind me, and you can see it over my shoulder as well. Just beautiful sunshine. And of course, the gardens are in full bloom with all the azaleas. So it's a great time to come and visit, especially first half of the day when it's a little cooler. It's 64 in Fayetteville, 63 in Roanoke Rapids, and 65 in Goldsboro right now. Exercise this morning is going to be comfortable up through lunchtime when we'll be in the mid 80s, but then low 90s. We get that 90-degree day for the first time at RDU this year, but more to come as we get through this week. Ken?
Elizabeth, for those of you getting ready to head out the door, we're keeping an eye on that southern loop of the Beltline, I-40, Lake Wheeler Road. These are the westbound lanes coming toward us this morning. Traffic is moving, albeit slowly this morning. You're looking at a 10-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline. And just remember, that southern loop of the Beltline is the I-40, 440 interchange there in Southeast Raleigh, all the way over to US 1. Coming up, we'll take a look at some other delays we're picking up on some other major routes heading into the Raleigh-Wake County area.
Raleigh police are investigating a crash that closed part of the road last night. It happened at the intersection of Western Boulevard and Dan Allen Drive just before 11 p.m. At least one of the cars was heavily damaged, and we're still working to learn if anyone was injured in this crash. Tonight, parents can share their thoughts on Wake School's budget after proposed cuts. Superintendent Robert Taylor proposed $5.2 million in budget cuts. These cuts would be in areas like transportation, elementary, and literacy. On Fox 50.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
And it's a hot start to the afternoon as we see highs climbing into the low 90s for the first time at RDU this year. I'll show you why this trend continues well into the weekend.
And speaking of which, getting your home heat ready as temperatures rise, so does the need for your AC, what you can do to keep that cool air running smoothly.
And officer autopsy, the new information we're learning about the shooting that killed a Wake Med police officer. Good Good morning, and thanks for joining us for this half hour. I'm Kirsten Clark. We've got a beautiful start to the morning so far before things really heat up.
Absolutely, Ken Smith. And it's a situation where it's supposed to be spring.
Right?
Yeah, not feeling that good. Let's head outside into the WRAL weather patio, check in with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning. Yeah, 90s are normal, highs in July. And typically in July, it's also really humid. So it just feels, fairly miserable. The thing about this particular heat wave is we don't have the humidity to go along with it. So the 90 will feel hot, but not as just oppressive as it would in July. It's a pretty start here in the Gardens this morning, 65 degrees, our temperature in the Triangle, a southwest wind at 9 miles per hour. And that southwest wind is going to keep warming things up for us today. We'll see temperatures in the low 80s by lunchtime, and we'll climb into the low 90s this afternoon. We have yet to officially hit 90 degrees at RDU. We almost did yesterday. We hit 89, but we've hit 90s in some other parts of the viewing area like Fayetteville. But here we go, and we'll continue to see highs near records all the way through Saturday. And then we'll take a closer look at Sunday's front and show you when to expect some cooler temperatures.
Elizabeth, we're keeping an eye on that southern loop of the Beltline. Listen, this is the usual congestion we see this time of the morning on I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. These are the westbound lanes coming toward us this morning. And right now, you're looking at an 8-minute delay. Things are getting a little better. That was up to double digits a little while ago. And now, if you're navigating I-40 westbound through Wade Avenue, you're looking at a 2-minute delay. But again, nothing that's going to make you late. You're coming in from Garner-Johnson County, delay-free at this hour. Now, that northern loop of the Beltline, we're picking up some heavy congestion as well, particularly between the I-440 87 interchange and Capitol Boulevard. And once you get past Capitol Boulevard, it's moving rather smoothly. But again, you're looking at a 10-minute delay. This is a situation to the east of Raleigh. I-87 at Smithfield Road. These are the southbound lanes coming toward us this morning. And this is all part of the complete NC 540 project between Hodge Road and Smithfield Road. But right now, you're picking up a 4-minute delay coming in from Nightdale. We're picking up some congestion also coming in from Apex this morning on US 1 North. You're looking at a 10-minute delay, so keep that in mind as you get ready to head out. And if you do so, tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. We're staying on top of breaking news this morning. Highway Patrol was called out to a crash involving a school bus in Wake County. The crash happened near Old Stage Road and Willow Landing Way. Troopers told the WRAL breaking news tracker that a minivan went over the yellow line and hit the bus. There were 2 students on board, but thankfully no one was hurt. We're still trying to find out what charges the driver of that van is facing. And police are investigating a crash that blocked part of a road in Raleigh overnight. It happened at the intersection of Western Boulevard and Dan Allen Drive. That's near NC State's campus. You can see that large police response from our WRAL tower cam. And the breaking news tracker saw at least 2 cars at that scene. At least one of the cars had major damage. We're still working to learn if anyone was injured in this crash. Part of NC 42 in Wilson County is back open this morning after a deadly crash last night. State Highway Patrol confirmed just after 11 that a crash had happened in that area. We know someone was killed. We're waiting to hear more about what led to this crash, if anyone will be charged, and if anyone else was injured.
Well, your HVAC system will be working overtime this week to keep your house cool. We're dealing with some record heat temperatures. Let's bring in WRAL Ali Catalbar joining us now in Volume. Ali, what can people do to prepare for this hot weather?
Well, Ken, homeowners are definitely turning on the AC if they haven't yet this year. Now, local experts say now is the best time to get your AC unit checked, especially before it starts working extra hard this summer. They recommend that you get a maintenance check on your HVAC system in the spring, so right now, especially if your AC was struggling last summer. To prevent your AC from working too hard, you can use a programmable thermostat. Also, keep your home as cool as possible by closing those blinds and curtains. Michael & Son says the best way to prevent AC problems is getting a reputable HVAC company to come by and clean up your system.
You want to make sure everything, all the nuts and screws are tightened, all the readings are coming out where they should be, because when you don't do that and you're running it where it's not optimal with our summers, it can get you.
Yeah, and I checked multiple HVAC companies in the Triangle. You can get a maintenance check ranging in between $70 and $200, depending on your unit and also the plan you select. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Along with the heat, almost the entire state is under severe drought. Raleigh leaders are considering water restrictions as the drought intensifies. Now, this is video of Falls Lake, a major water source in Wake County. The city says restrictions could go into effect in the coming weeks. This is because the current water levels and the lack of rain in the forecast. That could mean limiting the time of day you can use water for certain tasks and how much. It's been nearly 20 years since Raleigh put water restrictions in place. And as you heard Elizabeth said, this heat wave will stick around for a while. Now is the time to take out your phone, download that WRAL weather app. Also, be sure to turn on those push notifications so you can know about any heat warnings and when cooler weather moves into the triangle again.
We're learning more details about the shooting death of a Wake Med police officer. Officer Roger Smith was shot and killed in the Wake Med Garner emergency room last November. A new autopsy report says the suspect, Benji Martin Jr., got the gun from Smith after a fight in the ER and then shot him. The medical examiner says Smith was shot twice. Martin was also shot but recovered from his injuries. He's charged with murder and is expected back in court on April 30th.
Kirsten, Officer Smith was among the fallen officers honored in a service last night. Law enforcement and state leaders paid respects to 4 police officers in Greensboro. Smith's name was on the list of officers added to the state's honor roll of fallen officers.
Well, tonight, parents in Wake County can share their thoughts on the school district's budget after millions of dollars were proposed in cuts. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey shares more on the pushback to the superintendent's proposal.
Tonight, Wake County parents, you're invited to come here to Wakefield Middle School so you can share your thoughts on the district's budget that could impact funding at your child's school. This comes after Superintendent Robert Taylor proposed $5.2 million in budget cuts. These cuts would be in areas like transportation and elementary literacy coaches. Taylor plans to propose more cuts later this month. Next year's budget would still be an increase overall, but that's only to make up for increased costs such as pay raises. If state-funded employees get a salary increase, Wake County and other local districts would have to match it. That could increase costs by tens of millions of dollars each year. You can share your feedback on how you think the district's money should be spent tonight at 6 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
Taking a look ahead now, the Wake County school system wants to change calendars at 8 schools. Discussion on those changes was canceled because of a power outage at the school district headquarters where the board meets. The schools are mostly in the western part of the county, and the district says their enrollment isn't high enough for the year-round calendars they're currently on. It's not clear when they will resume the discussion, and the district plans to issue a second draft of its proposal on May 5th. A vote could happen 2 weeks after that.
New this morning, Iran is threatening to block marine traffic in several waterways if the U.S. blockade of its ports continues. In the past 24 hours of the blockade, American warships issued warnings to 6 ships, prompting them to turn around. An Iranian commander says they're considering blocking the Persian Gulf, the Sea of Oman, and the Red Sea. This comes as a second round of peace talks between the U.S. and Iran could be held as soon as this week. The Strait of Hormuz is a major sticking point in the negotiations. So is Iran's nuclear capability.
And new in the Live Center this morning, President Trump now claims that China has agreed not to provide weapons, I should say, to China and to Iran during this time. This is the latest Truth Social post that he posted here this morning. He says, China is very happy that I am permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz. He says, I am doing it for them also and the world. This situation will never happen again, he goes on to say. They have agreed not to send weapons to Iran. President Xi will give me a big fat hug when I get there in a few weeks. So he says all of this as the president is set to visit Beijing next month, and reports were also circulating that China was preparing to do a transfer of arms during this war. So traffic through the strait is a key global trade route, as we know, remains effectively a standstill at this time as the U.S. is now blocking Iranian ports. But in this post, he is pointing to a reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. So we'll follow this here in the Live Center.
Laura, thank you. Some good news. Gas prices are slowly going down here locally. We've got new data from AAA this morning. The average in Raleigh is down 1 cent to $3.88. A gallon of gas in Durham is also down 1 cent to $3.94. And over in Fayetteville, they're seeing the largest decrease, down 4 cents to $3.79. To find the best gas prices near you, check out the WRAL fuel tracker. Just go to WRAL.com and search fuel.
2 teenagers are now charged in connection with the shooting that put Carver High School on lockdown. This was breaking news during a new news yesterday as Sky 5 flew over that scene. Students tell us they heard gunshots in the woods near campus around lunchtime. No shots were fired on campus and no one was hurt. Police tell us the shooting happened nearby. Now, a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old were involved. One of them a student at Carver High School. Officers did not say what led up to the shooting, but they did say additional charges are possible. Durham's Hillside High School also went on lockdown yesterday after reports of a student bringing a weapon on campus. Students were released later than usual, but no weapon was found.
It is 8:41, waiting on tax refunds. Before you start worrying, 5 on Your Side explains the few common reasons your money could be delayed and how to track your refund right now.
Also, our teacher of the week is using his passion for fitness to motivate his students at Adams Elementary School. Hear who inspired him to become a physical education teacher.
And if you're planning to walk the dog today, our temperatures are going to be comfortable early on. By the time we get closer to lunchtime, we're climbing into the mid-80s with 90s in the forecast for our highs. I'll show you why we could see the heat lasting into the weekend coming up. .45 and it's beautiful out here in the gardens. Of course, all the azaleas are blooming. It's nice because there's so many different varieties. There's one blooming, and if it stops, another one starts. So gorgeous time to be out here in the gardens. Temperatures are in the low to mid 60s right now. 64 in Fayetteville, 65 in Durham, 64 in Wilson, and 67 in Goldsboro. And you may be taking your kids to practice this afternoon. It is going to be hot, but if you can find a shady spot, it won't feel as uncomfortable as it would in July. Our humidity is much lower than we typically see during the summer, but 91 at 4 o'clock, 91 at 5 o'clock, and then by 6 to 7, we're still in the mid 80s. I'll show you when a cold front comes in to bring our temperatures closer to normal coming up.
Happening now, Elizabeth, we're in Apex. We're giving you a live look at US 1 North near Highway 55. You can see some heavy congestion there coming in out of Apex this morning. So as we widen out the view and give you a look at our sensors this morning, here's what we're looking at. You're looking at a 9-minute delay coming in on US 1. So keep that in mind. You might want to take 540. I know it's a toll, but it'll help you avoid what's happening there on US 1 North. You're looking at an 11-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest at this hour.
Ken, thank you. Check your calendars. It's tax day. And if you're waiting on your tax refund, you're not alone. 5 on Your Side's Keely Arthur breaks down how long refunds really take and the common mistakes that could be slowing yours down.
Here's how long you should reasonably expect to wait for a refund. For federal returns, if you filed electronically, 3 weeks is about the norm. 6 weeks if you filed via mail. As for the state, it's 3 to 6 weeks electronic and up to 12 weeks via mail. Want to check your status? Head to the North Carolina Department of Revenue website and click Where's My Refund? For federal refunds, go to the Internal Revenue Service website and use the refund tracker. If you're dealing with a delay, it could be because of a common mistake like not signing paperwork or a mathematical error. Some credits also trigger delays like the earned income credit or additional child credit. And you also could be dealing with additional issues if you filed support for an injured spouse. Keely Arthur, 5 on Your Side.
Painted Tree Boutiques is abruptly closing all of its stores. This includes the Raleigh and Cary locations. The company told vendors at more than 60 stores nationwide that it plans to end all business operations effective immediately. They were asked to get all of their inventory by April 24th. We went by the Crossroads Plaza location yesterday and saw several vendors already moving out. When we spoke with them, they shared a similar reaction.
Completely shocked. I've had a booth here for over 2 years and have always done well. I know that that's hit or miss with other vendors, but had no idea this was happening.
Would have been nice to know more ahead of time. but
I don't even think the storm managers realized.
storm managers didn't know either. So.
Several vendors told us they thought Painted Tree should have given them more advance notice. That would have allowed them to discount items and have a going out of business sale.
3 people are facing charges in connection with a deadly Raleigh shooting. Angie Bravo is charged with murder and being held without bond. LaMargaret Hockaday is charged with assault, also held without bond. Jermaine Johnson is charged with assault and its accessory after the fact. Now, that shooting happened on Thelma Street Saturday night. The district attorney says the suspects broke a window at a home and told the victim, 27-year-old Terrence Qualls, to come outside. Now, before beating and shooting him, Qualls died at the hospital. Well, our teacher of the week is now teaching a subject which was his favorite when he was in school. We're at Adams Elementary School in Wake County to honor a physical education teacher known for motivating his students with music and movement.
I see running, I see jumping, I see a bunch of stuff. There we go.
Todd Shorts was a standout track athlete in high school, and being fleet of foot helps him set the pace for his students at Adams Elementary School in Cary.
Let's run, let's run, let's run. They always give me the right energy whenever they're ready to play a game. They're super ready to go, and it just helps me out a lot. It makes my job so much easier when the class participates and everybody participates, and I love it. Good job, Joe. Let's do it again.
Movement is the method by which Coach Short sparks his students' interest in sports and fitness, motivating them to exercise their minds and bodies.
Ready? All right, now let me see y'all two do it.
Teaching phys ed is actually a second career for Coach Shorts, who used to be a personal trainer.
My mother, Ms. Dawson, she put the bug in my ear about being a teacher because she was in the school system for a very long time.
When it comes to the rhythm of teaching phys ed, Coach Shorts is all about instilling a sense of determination in his students.
Is that how you live your life? That's how I live my life, absolutely. I never give up, never give up. And whatever you do, it may not look like, it may look like it's not going your way, you just gotta keep going. You just gotta keep going, because God will bless you.
Coach Shorts.
Oh my goodness.
You are WRAL's Teacher of the Week.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
Give him a big round of applause, class. Coach Shorts is also the sprint coach at his alma mater at Cary High School. If you'd like to nominate a teacher, go to WRAL.com, enter Teacher of the Week in the search box.
It never gets old. Well, it is a beautiful start to the morning, but we are expecting things to warm up. So you might want to crank up the AC, get out the shorts, the sunglasses, the flip-flops, because it is going to feel like summer. So let's get right out to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, who's out in the garden this morning enjoying, the mild temperatures before things really start to heat up, Elizabeth.
It feels wonderful out here right now. And of course, now is just prime time to come visit us in the gardens. I can see azaleas all the way back through the woods. There's some new features, a couple of new, I think there might be a new fountain. There's a new bridge as of the last few months back there. It's great for, taking your photo for social media. You can see how pretty it is behind me. And the temperatures are feeling really comfortable right now. It's 65 degrees in the triangle. We have a nice light breeze, southwest at 9 miles per hour. And that's what's helping to keep the warmth flowing for us all the way into the weekend. So it's 67 in Fuquay Varina, 64 in Apex, 67 Durham, 65 in Clayton right now. And around town this afternoon, we'll climb to 90. We almost hit 90 yesterday. We hit 89. Now we've hit 90 officially already in Fayetteville with one of our previous heat waves. We haven't quite gotten there officially at RDU. We probably will today. If we do that, can tie today's record. And then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday will be close to records again with highs in the 90s. We could be really close Saturday, just a degree off of it, with 94 the forecast and 95 the record. So rain chances are minimal during this entire time. But if you're out and about in the heat, we don't have the humidity that we would say have in those summertime, so it doesn't feel quite as bad. Sunday, when the front comes through, there's just not going to be much to it. A high pressure system is keeping all the moisture to the north and to the west, and that will be the case until we get to Sunday. Take a look here. You can see 91 for today, 90 for tomorrow, and a front tries to get close to us, but that high pressure system just blocks it and forces it back to the north, and then a front gets closer to us on Saturday, and finally on Sunday it moves through, but with very little rain. So we do have a statewide burn ban until further notice, and I don't see that getting dropped anytime soon. Tomorrow, the new drought monitor comes out, and we'll share that with you. We will see a nice drop in our temperature with Sunday's front. We go from 94 Saturday to 67 on Sunday. We'll be right back with your top stories.